BarbacoaCore, a podcast network.
Just don't say the N-word. What is up, everybody? Thank you for checking out a new episode of the BarbacoaCore Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick C. Huerta. Today, I have my guest and my buddy, Justin Bires. What's going on, man?
It's all good, dude. Hey, the first thing you told me was don't say the N-word. You tell everybody that?
No, just you, man. Just you. And I put that on recording too, so behave yourself.
Dude. No,
It's just because I don't want to edit. Like we were just talking about how you guys got a podcast. You, Joey Smith, and Brendan Potter. You got your podcast. Please ignore what I just said.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But y'all have so much editing to do because y'all just go off the rails on some fucked up shit.
Yeah, but it's not the N-word. I mean, there's been one or two, but but it's usually we're just name dropping people, and we're like, oh, the only people that would ever listen to this are the people that we're saying.
Yeah.
Which is not a good thing ever.
Yeah. But y'all need to get like on some type of regular schedule, you know, especially if you have guests and they're trying to promote shows and all that stuff. I think that's what Potter said that he wants to do. Like, he says, after this, I'm not editing anymore. Because y'all have like 4 episodes on the shelf, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 4 episodes on the show. And what's funny is each one of them, they're like, what, you got any plugs coming up? And they're like, yeah, then November 15th, we got this thing at Jokesters.
Yeah.
So, horrible.
Horrible, man. Speaking of plugs, social medias, websites, how can people find you, promote your podcast again, and any shows you got going on?
Yeah, everything is easy. It's my name, Justin Bires, Instagram, Facebook, don't do Twitter. If you want to find our podcast, it's Please Ignore What I Just Said. We got it on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Pat's on 2 episodes. One's been released. One will probably never be released.
I don't think anyone's been released.
Yeah. One of them has. Nope. It has. That is right. That's one of the shelved ones.
Yeah.
Dude, amazing. We've had you on twice.
Yeah, it was good practice. It was good practice.
Yeah, one of these days.
And sorry, shows. What shows you got coming up?
So we do the Tiger every Friday. I'm on the midnight. On Thursday, we actually got a show at East Dakota Ice House.
The Dakota East Side Ice House.
Dakota East Side Ice House. That's going to be a fun show. That's really my favorite comics that I like to hang out with.
Yeah, man.
Maybe not the funniest guys.
Nah.
Nah, just kidding. But to hang out with, dude, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I've never been there before, but I looked up the pictures. It looks like a nice little stage, nice little room. So it should be fun, man.
Mm-hmm. And then I got a pizza show with Duck Easy. He asked me to do it on March 6th.
Yeah,
so.
210 Pizza and Burger Bistro.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool, man. It's a small room. It's pretty live as far as like the ambiance. Like it's lit. It's a restaurant. You know? It's BYOB, so that's cool. So anybody that you have coming out, make sure you bring your own alcohol. And they'll even tell you, we don't serve anything, but there's a liquor store right down the corner. So.
Oh heck yeah!
So it's cool.
You said there were kids on that show, right?
There was 2 kids. When I showed up, there was a handful of kids there, and where they have like toys is where their stage is. So kids, like, you know how like in the doctor's office you see those little like trains and those things. So they had that set up in the corner where the stage was, and I was like, oh shit, that's the playground. You know, we're gonna take over the playground to do the show. By the time the show started, they had left. All but 2 kids had left, and their family was still there. And it's a good thing they stuck around because there was only one group. There was a group of 6 of them, but they were all together. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing that they stayed because they were the only audience members. And then I had some friends there, but I don't look at my friends when I'm on stage. When I'm performing, I'm like, I don't see you.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. And it was cool, man. I mean, the mic went out, so I went a cappella for a little bit. But the people they seemed to like it. They had fun, and I got to work on 10 minutes.
Nice.
So it's a cool place. Adrian did that show too. So
That's good to know. The one thing I'm always nervous about, I've done a lot of shows where kids are going, but it's something that in your head you're just like, God damn it.
yeah, man, because you don't want to say anything that could affect them.
Do you think that on the way home they act different, or like their parents are like, so things you heard today, don't do that?
No, they were young.
Oh, okay.
Like they were young. One didn't even talk English, like words. And then the other had to be like maybe 4, you know. So they were young kids, and one of them fell asleep during my set. I was like, "See, I'm a good babysitter. You know, I put your kid to sleep. You know."
That's amazing.
So I was only worried about one, and then I only did one bad joke that I felt bad that I wouldn't want to say in front of kids, and I did it because I needed to fill at the time. But other than that, it wasn't bad. The staff is nice. The food there was pretty good. I ate before the show. So yeah, you'll have fun doing that. I got like same on the Thursday, the 20th this week, with Justin Bires is on there, Joey Smith, Brendan Potter, Adrian Flores is hosting it, and Jeremy Brown's going to be closing out the show, doing the headlining set. So that's going to be at the Dakota Eastside Ice House. The Dakota Eastside Ice House. You can look it up on Facebook. And then this week, the 21st, I will be hosting the Secret Midnight Show at the Blind Tiger. Pretty stoked for that, man. I've heard like the people have been vibing with the room, like
It's been good.
returning audience members. So pretty stoked to do that. So I'll be doing the hosting that night. So come on out to the Blind Tiger this Friday. And then next week on the 29th, I'll be back at Las Cheladas. That's going to be with Mario Salazar and Danny Engel. Food service starts at 7, and then the show starts around like 8 o'clock. So you want to get there early so you can get your food, so you can just enjoy the show and drinks and stuff whenever the show starts. So that's all I have for this month. You can follow me at Patrick C. Huerta on both Twitter and Instagram, and then at BarbacoaCore on Instagram, and at Blind Tiger Comedy. That's where you can find out anything with Blind Tiger got going on. And yeah, that's it for the intros, dude.
Heck yeah.
How you been, dude?
I've been good. How many episodes is this?
Well, because I made a return because I was doing the X Lives thing for a bit, and so I did 10 of those, and then I just decided to change it back to BarbacoaCore just because I like BarbacoaCore. I think it's funny, like just the name of it itself, and just kind of loosen it up because for a while, like the idea of X Lives was to go back into people's history and stuff. You know, me being a little bit older than a lot of people, I've done a lot of shit, you know, not just like focusing on like being in bands, but like I worked in stage management. I worked in operas. I've had different jobs. I've traveled a little bit. So my X lives is maybe a little bit more extensive than some other people's.
Were you going to say interesting in your...
No, not at all. Everybody has an interesting life, man. I mean, like you talk about your childhood all the time, and you think it's not funny. I was like, dude, that shit's fucking hilarious. Like you just bring up stories like, oh yeah, I remember when this happened. I was like, dude, that's fucking funny.
What's weird is if I would like to summarize it, it'd be like, hey, man, I was born, I went to high school, and I do comedy.
See, but you got to understand, there's so much more to that. Like, there's so much more to that. Like maybe for a little while you were really into like Little League, you know, so maybe you like dreamed of being a baseball player, all-star. I don't know, man. Like people had like their ex lives and stuff, but it kind of like just painted people in a corner, like to just focus on that. Like I'm all about people's history and stuff. Like I think people's backstory is fucking interesting as shit, you know. Like with Potter with his religion and stuff. Like everybody has an interesting backstory, but I just wanted to kind of make it loose and just chewing the fat, chopping it up, you know, having fun, talking about what we got going on and shit.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, that's why I kind of brought it back. So I think the officially this is like my 70th episode, but it's like my 50th or 60th BarbacoaCore.
Dang, man, keeping it going.
Yeah, well, I've been doing it for like 2 years. It's hard to be on a schedule, you know? Like I'm trying to record every Wednesday, and then I wound up being on a show last Wednesday, so I couldn't do it.
What show were you on last Wednesday?
Here at Hallison's, the Mind Twist comedy one that they have second Wednesday of the month. So that was cool, man. It was interesting. It's in a coffee shop. It's in the corner of a coffee shop / bar.
Oh, that was the one with Jeremy?
Jeremy closed that one out too.
Oh, dude, he told me that was a fun show.
Yeah. I found out, it's so funny, this comic from Houston, Nick Bermea, I might get that wrong. So he was on the show, and my family, my mom and my sisters, and my wife too, they're very supportive, and they go to the shows. You know, it would be nice if they gave me a heads up, like, hey, we're going to come out tonight, so I could adjust my set, you know? Because I don't know how you work, but once I have my set list, that's what it is. That's what it's going to be for the night, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know? So my mom just showed up without telling me. It kind of surprised me. I was like, oh, shit, you're going to hear stuff, you know? But apparently Nick Berman was trying to, like, roast my mom. Because she wasn't laughing at his stuff. And I just found out because we took a trip, went to Oklahoma, and she's like, did you hear what that comic said to me? And I was like, what? And she says, yeah, because I wasn't laughing at his joke or something. Like, I couldn't get it. And he says, like, what's up with that face? You know, like, are you upset that you wore a tablecloth as a shirt or something like that?
Oh, dang.
Because she wears, like very loud, a lot of designs on her shirts and stuff. And I was like, well, did anybody laugh? She's like, no. I was like, well, then you won. You know?
Every time.
If nobody laughed at his joke, then you won.
No, I'm not like that. I'm very ADD with it. So it's like if someone even says something, even if they were like saying something to their friend, I'm like, I almost like have to address it.
Yeah.
I get like very uncomfortable with other people, like, I guess disrupting the set.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, if I don't stop this, then... But then half the time it dominoes where I'm like, I lose. So...
But you have that demeanor and that delivery where it's kind of innocent. It's like it's meant to be jokey.
Yep.
In a mean way, but it's meant to be jokey. You know, so you kind of get a pass and shit.
Yeah.
Like that same show, I had to walk two girls because they were like standing right by the stage, right by the speakers, and they were loud as fuck, like just in the conversation between themselves. You know, so I was like, hey, man, because nobody was telling me anything. I was like the fourth one up, and they were talking to the whole thing. And so finally I was like, man, y'all gotta quiet down. You know, y'all are right there where the stage is. You know, just give us like another 40 minutes, and then you can be as loud as you want. And then they go like, oh, we're loud? I was like, of course you're loud. You're female. And the crowd just went, oh. Ooh. Because, I mean, I'm a big guy, and I look very intimidating. I've tell people this, and they're like, no, you don't, you know?
Yeah.
And then other people will be like, well, look at you. Like, you're a monster, you know? So I'm like, if I'm mean to anybody, like, if they're automatic, like, oh, he's attacking me, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So they wound up getting up and leaving, and it was a rough show, man. I never really got them back because they felt like I was attacking people.
Oh, yeah.
But
you went right for the throat right away.
Yeah, man. It was fun though. There was a few people. What sucks is that there's some people that will be enjoying the show, but they don't want to be the only ones loud laughing. So they make that face that they're with you, that they got the joke.
I know exactly
but
what you mean.
They'll silently laugh. They'll like or they'll cover their mouth. I was like,
that means nothing to me.
I need the noise.
That means nothing to me. If everybody was like looking at me, smiling, doing a little like inward, like not laughing laugh.
Yeah.
I've been like, I bombed.
Yeah.
Even if everyone had a good time and they told me like after, hey, I just followed you. I loved your set.
Yeah.
So it was funny. Me and Adrian, we did a show in Middleton Brewery, and I thought I bombed. I was like, man, that was horrible. There was like only like 2 people that laughed. Like they were enjoying the set, and there was maybe like 12 people in the room. And everyone came up after, and they're like, dude, we loved you. We loved all this stuff. I was like, y'all didn't laugh. And they're like, I mean, we just came out to have a good time, and it was fun. And I was like, dude, but
it's so rough.
We demand so much.
Yeah. Like we kind of need that coal to like burn the fires, you know, like make us go harder, you know? And like if we feel like we're like just failing, like we're just like, oh shit, like I suck. They hate me. And then you'll get on stage and like, hey man, that was really good. You did good. I was like, really? Because I didn't hear you when I needed to hear you.
Oh yeah, dude, turn it back on them.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's really funny.
But No, man. I mean, it's good, man. So, how you been staying busy with shows? You've been jumping on shows a lot.
Yeah, I've been trying to get into more shows. We have similar experience where we didn't want to do shows until we were what we thought funny to
Yeah.
ourselves. But now people fuck with me a little bit.
Yeah.
And,
How do you think what you had the similar game plan as where like you just want to do mics, you're gonna chill out on jumping on shows. How do you think that's affected your progress?
I think probably more just like internally what you think about, where I'm like, I think I'm funnier because of it, but I think it makes the other people you're on shows with like you a little more, you know, that you weren't like out there like right out of the gate, like, love me.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like you put in like somewhat dues.
Yeah, man. I mean, I know a lot of people. They come out and they'll start jumping on shows, and you talk to them like, "Hey, man, how long you been doing this?" Like, "Oh, like 2 months." Like, fucking 2 months, and you're already like jumping on shows. Like, I kind of wish I would have been that aggressive, but at the same time, I don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. Like, who the fuck do you think you are, type of thing. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm starting to learn that it's not just about writing and going on stage, as far as like booking shows, you know, or getting up on shows and stuff. Like, you have to get in people's faces. You have to, you know, talk to the management, talk to the bookers. You got to make sure that they like you.
Yeah.
You know, and because to me, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna work on being funny, and then everything else is gonna fall into place. But it's really not like that, man. Like, there's some places that like just won't book me because of one or two things.
Sure.
And it has nothing to do with who I am on stage or what I do on stage.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, doesn't happen to me, but no, I totally get that, dude.
I don't know, like, because we have like the Ha Fest or the Ha Fest. Did you ever submit anything? Did you do anything for that? No, you didn't?
Dude, I'm the worst at submitting. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's to me, it's kind of like dude, there's work involved. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm bad, but I feel like I'm treating it somewhat right, where I almost treat it like a hobby that I'm like passionate about.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like festivals not doing, but I want to be on like as many. I want to hit as many mics as I can, but I realize I'm not that good.
But I think you are, man. I think you're one of the top ones because it's a very small group of open micers. I'm an open micer, like that's
Yeah.
So there's a very small group of good ones, I think, in my humble, honest opinion, and I think you're up there with that. I think you should be doing more shows, but I don't think you care to be as aggressive. Like you just said, like you're not gonna jump on shows. You know, you're not gonna submit for festivals and stuff. And even Potter was kind of talking about this yesterday. He's like, he wants to get good at his job and then just kind of.
That actually had me laughing, though. He was like, I want to be an awesome dent guy that's also an awesome comic. I was like, dude, shut up.
Yeah, and so, I don't know, man. Like, I've been going back and forth with this, too, because I kind of want to do this every day.
Yeah.
You know, I want to kind of get up on mics every day. I want to get good, and I want to get people to notice what I do, you know? And at first I was like, well, let me try to balance it and have like 2 days, 3 days, and then 3 days off. But man,
You come in Monday and you're already rusty. You're not feeling it. You're like, there's almost like you don't have the get up and go with it. But if you do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, by Friday, you're feeling your stuff. You love what you do.
You're fired.
Right? Like there's momentum that carries.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh my God. It's almost like, to me, it's almost like the tiger, like, oh, I came, and then you have the hangover of like the 2 days, and then you come back and then you suck until Thursday.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I don't know, man. You hear about like all these people like that talk about like the sacrifices, you know? And I'm not at any point where I want to sacrifice, or I'm not gonna quit my job. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, give up my apartment. I'm not gonna move. You know, so I'm not doing that sacrifice yet. I want to, but I want to get good at this, like automatically good. And the only way to do that is to go out every night.
Yeah. Dude, my girlfriend just moved in. So that's...
See, yeah.
Dude, it's brutal because she just started a new job, like rotation. She'll be gone next month, so I'll be funnier. I'll be funnier in April and March. But she just moved in, and I'm like, man, I feel like pressure to like hang around. And she's been nothing but supportive.
Yeah.
But I do wanna be there, right? And did a long distance relationship. Been long distance many times. And she moved in last month. And dude, I fucking love this girl. But I did love her more last month.
Yeah, man. I totally get it. And like anybody listening to this is gonna be like, oh man, what a dick. But you gotta understand, like, you wanna be there. Like, you love this person, but at the same time, like, you really enjoy going out, getting up, performing, having a good performance, knowing that, figuring out a joke that finally works, Mm-hmm. Like, it's an addiction. It's a healthy addiction because it's not healthy addiction.
No, it's not, dude. Dude,
but it's better than doing drugs,
I don't know if it is, dude, because I went to Elbow Room yesterday.
Yeah.
And what did I do? I went there. I ate like 5 things of nasty popcorn. I drank 3 beers, and then I made fun of Russian people. And then went home, and they're like, how was it? And I was like, it was horrible.
It wasn't that bad last night. I got to host the Elbow Room open mic. The only thing I didn't like is that I kept saying, all right, the next comic is our last comic for the night, and then people kept walking in to sign up. I was like, dude, tell me you're coming so I know to stall or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was cool, man. Elbow Room is a good room. How was LOL last night? Open mic last night at LOL.
Kind of cold. Not too many people did good while I was there. I stuck around till about 14, and every single person just didn't feel like they were feeling it. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you get this. Sometimes it sounds like people just kind of wandered in, where they're like, you know what? I'm not really here for comedy, but I'm kind of like sticking around. But yeah, it kind of felt like there was a lot, like a tense room, which I don't know why. It seems like after the new year, that room has been pretty tense lately.
Yeah, right. They changed stuff up. They started earlier. They got rid of the feature sets, which was kind of rough too because the feature sets is right up top, and
some of the funnier people up front,
and the room's not really ready yet. They still need to get ready for comedy. Like, they're coming to see a comedy show, open mic / comedy show, whatever. And then you put up the feature sets, the extended sets, and then it's just.
To be fair, yeah, you're right. 7:30. Is a little early to start going. No one's drinking yet.
Nobody's drinking yet. Yeah.
I guess there's a couple of things that would, but also management wants to get out. They're just like, okay, let's make these shitty comics tell their jokes so we can go home.
Yeah, they really don't want to stay there till like midnight and stuff. That's happened before. But I don't know, man. But like going back to that submitting, I haven't submit for any festivals yet. Because there's a fee, I don't want to get trapped in like the whole like spending money just for to apply and stuff.
Yeah.
Anything that's free, I'll apply to. But I haven't done that yet either. But I mean, I would apply to the free ones before I apply to anything that I got to pay for. I don't have any good clips though. I don't have any good videos that I feel worthy of submitting. I thought I had one for that audition for the Ha Festival. And this is what kind of bums me out, man, because. I don't know if you were there, but that audition that I did to get on Ha Fest was my best performance.
Oh, that was the Rick show, right?
That was the Rick audition.
Oh, dude, I want to talk about that.
You do want to talk about it?
Yeah, actually, I do want to talk about that.
All right. So, I mean, that was my best performance. The only bad thing about that one is that I got off early. Like, I was supposed to do 7 minutes, I think, and then I got off at 6 because Rick was hosting it. And it was in the LOL in the lobby, the small stage in the lobby, and so I'm going, and the crowd's feeling me, and I'm feeling them, and I'm giving it I'm fucking going at it, And then and it had to be clean too. I was nervous about clean because I can't do a long clean set,
Yeah.
But it's going good. They're feeling me. They're helping me with my pacing and all that stuff. Felt great about it. But in my peripherals, I see Rick getting closer and closer to the stage. And to be honest, I showed up late. So I didn't get the meeting of look for the light here. Look, this is your time. This is your signal.
Did you see the light?
I did not see the light. So I was like, and I didn't know if I was just caught up in the moment and stuff. And I don't know, because Cabaza, it was lighting people from the bar. Because that's where he was filming from. And he was lighting people at the bar. And I didn't find that out till after I got off stage. So I just see Rick getting closer and closer to the stage as if he's going to come off, and release me or whatever. And so I got off early because I thought, shit, did I run the light? I got to fucking go. And so I just wrapped it up and got off stage. Other than that, other than leaving the stage early, I fucking had a killer set.
Yeah. One of the best ones you've had?
One of the best. The best.
Yeah.
And so I felt like, oh man, this is going to be a good submission for this festival. And I didn't get it. And then I was like, whatever. The guys that got it, they've been in the game for a long time. I'm only going on 2 years. So I can't hate that. It's not like anybody, beat me out of it. I just didn't have it what they wanted, because it was the official HBO executives picking. It wasn't anybody local. It wasn't Rick. It was, whoever's setting up the thing with HBO. They picked them out. So I was kind of bummed I didn't get it. And then that footage is lost.
Oh, they wouldn't give it to you?
Well, I asked Cabaza for it, and he's like, man, I can't find it. He's like, I lost my set. You could ask Rick if he has it, because Rick's the one that submitted it to HBO. So I was like, fuck, man. And I really don't want to bother Rick with it. Like, hey, can you find this footage for me? Help me out for free.
Yeah, sure.
And then,
not like I did the show for free, but...
yeah. And then I'm finding out that LOL is inviting people to do guest spots. And I didn't get an offer for one. But at the same time, it's LOL. It's the management from LOL contacting these people for guest spots. And I don't know anybody at LOL. I don't rub elbows or whatever the saying is.
Sure.
If I go to LOL, it's to sign up for the mic, to do the mic.
I think the saying is you jack them off.
Well, yeah, I don't do that. I haven't done that yet. If I got to do that, I will. I'm here to play.
Come on, Kevin, bring it here.
So yeah, I wish I was part of that festival. It would have been cool. I definitely would have put that. I would put that on my EPK whenever I submit to festivals and stuff. Like, oh, I've done this festival.
Yeah.
Even if it was a guest spot or whatever. So I'm a little bit bummed out about that, but it is what it is. I'm still young in the game. And I'm getting shows, man. I'm hitting the road. I'll be in Abilene and San Angelo.
You're going to Abilene?
Yeah, next month.
Heck
for a guest spot with Danny Engel, and he's featuring for April Macy. So it's just a little guest spot and stuff.
That's cool.
So that should be good. But okay, so what do you do? What's your opinion on the Hot Fest?
Dude, so Rick reached out after my set. I had a pretty good set, and he was like, "Hey, man, are you Latino?" And I was like, "Yeah, half, sure." And he was like, "I'm gonna mess with you, man. You're pretty good." And I was like, "Man, hell yeah!"
Yeah,
and then rumor comes as like, "Hey, they're doing a Latino show. This is the lineup here." And I was like, "What?" I saw it not on there. I wasn't in town that week. And what you told me was he went to the Tiger, he went to LOL, and was just like, I want you.
Yeah.
But, no Justin Bires.
Yeah.
What's going on here? So I denounced whatever Hispanic is left in me. And if you see me on the streets, I'm a good Caucasian voter. Trump, no.
Well, he did open it up too, because the show was kind of the show was kind of whatever.
Yeah.
So he did open it up for submissions, and I sent you that. I was like, send him a video, but you're like, no.
Yeah, dude. I have a pretty good Spanish arsenal in me.
Yeah, you speak better Spanish. Oh, well, you speak Spanish, and I don't.
Yeah, and I saw it. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Yeah, again, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was like, "Fuck this! What about me?"
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, dude. I'm older than a lot of people doing it, but I'm still new to the game. I can't expect for things to just happen for me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people that do feel like that though, man. Like they just been like, oh, I deserve this. You know.
Well, me, because I'm white now. So what's going on here?
Yeah, you think it's kind of weird? I mean, I don't know.
Nah,
The whole
just
like
kidding.
Latinx thing, like making that like a
No.
theme of it.
I mean, it's kind of like Def Jam comedy, you know. It's
Okay,
like
yeah.
give them the dues. What's doing? It'd be like if a white guy was upset about not being in Crazy Rich Asians, right?
Yeah.
He's like, what's going on here?
No, I guess so. I mean, it's a minority group that they're trying to like, or it's not a minority here, but
Yeah. I was actually talking about. So I'm from Corpus, you know that pretty well, and they're like, what's? Someone asked me, they're like, so what is Corpus like? Like everywhere I hear it sounds it's like horrible. I was like, it's kind of like if like the worst people in America and the worst people in Mexico like got together and like invented Whataburger. And yeah, so I was like, that's it. So I'm like actually probably the perfect representation of someone from Corpus, I think, because I'm half Mexican, I'm half white, and definitely dumb. But I also think that I'm like creative with my dumbness. Like, you know, like you get to a point where you're just like, okay, it's now helping me.
Mm-hmm. It does make you funny. Like you're naturally funny. Like you say funny things without even trying.
That's the worst part though, because it's like you're on stage and you're like, I have this joke that's brilliant. I wrote it, and then just eat shit, and then I'll just been like, man, that was big gay, and people are like, I like that.
The thing is, like, they need to know your personality. So you need to do like extended sets. Like if you did a 10-minute set, you could have that 5 minutes to like introduce yourself, let people know about like who you are, and then so when you do start saying like the funny like the combinations of the words that you use just to like express yourself, they're like, oh, that guy's. It would be funny because
They get it. I think I'm an acquired taste for a lot of people.
Acquired taste. I'm just saying, like they need to know who you are to like kind of like get on the wave of the Bires wave.
Sure. Yeah. No, that makes sense. You know what's funny is my parents are even more like me than me.
Yeah.
Because my mom is super, super nice, loving, real Hispanic, just real Hispanic culture. But she's a business owner, right? And so, you know, we have our own thing. And then my dad is borderline retarded, but he's he's really funny. Like my dad is hilarious. He's the guy that like doesn't know words, so he like that's where I get it from. Where he was like, "Man, where's my ant burner?" And he's looking for like a magnifying glass. I was like, I don't know. And so, like I'll tell stories that I tell on stage to them, and they'll remind me of things. They're like, "Remember that?" Because I told them the little cyclone bit, which was a felon that I used to work with.
Yeah.
Right. And he was like, "What about when Alan stapled your back?" And I was like, there's another guy that was a felon that, dude, this dude was dirty. He never showered, smelled like shit. He growled at a black guy one time, just like, I was like he was trying to fight him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, dude, this is horrible. And we were lifting up curtains, and I had my arms up in the air, and while I was like preoccupied with an industrial stapler, staples my back.
Holy shit.
And then and my dad not helping me. This is how I know that like it was just a horrible life growing up.
Yeah.
I was like, my dad turns around and he was like, y'all two stop fucking around. I was like, I'm trapped. It's never getting better.
Shit, that's crazy. That's funny. See that shit like that? That's funny.
Yeah.
But you don't think you could work on stage?
I know I can. I mean, I feel like we're so young into it, right? Like we want to rush it. And
yeah, man.
It's like I can barely tell a structured joke, and it's like, you know, it's gonna take time.
Yeah, man. It gets a little bit aggravating at
and
times.
I'm 25 and not fat, so I have a lot more time than you.
That is true. I'm here trying to be nice to you. She's like, you're a fucking fat ass. You're gonna die soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So,
thanks for the coffee.
Yeah, you're welcome. What was I gonna say? So the whole dojo thing, like, so we have these writing sessions, where we dojo ideas, premises, and stuff that we're trying to work on. the whole thing about that is like I'm not a good storyteller, and everything that I've been trying to work on is like stories. So it's just hard to like really punch up stuff. Like that's the thing. Like I can't deal with silence. There's some comics that like love the whole silence, the build up, and then the payoff. Like silence makes me nervous. I get really anxious when there's no like laughter coming back and stuff. So that's why a lot of things that I do, like they're non sequiturs, they're just stupid jokes, quick jokes and stuff. I'm trying to extend into storytelling and stuff, but it's not working. Like I get nervous if the story's going too long and stuff.
Do you want to become a storyteller?
I would like to have that in my arsenal. You know?
Oh yeah,
I do like the whole quick jokes, the quick jabs and stuff.
you're good at it.
I like that. Just because I need it's kind of like the conversation type thing. Like I'm gonna say something and you're gonna laugh, and then I'm gonna say something again and you're gonna laugh. Like that's how I like it to go.
Yeah.
There's some people that go like, okay, well let me set the mood, let me bring it down, let me get dramatic with it, and then
I'm getting hard.
you know, I was like, oh, it was so worth it the whole time. That's the whole thing. Like I'm afraid that whole build-up's not gonna be worth it. Like the 9/11 joke that I was working on.
Yeah.
Like the 9/11 story. Like it starts off good, but then the payoff is like, oh, that's it. Like that's so painful, because like you're building up, you're working it out, and then like the punchline or the end of it, I guess, is just like that. Okay.
Yeah, the longer you go, the better the punchline has to go. Like
It has to.
because then people are like, they're like wet for it. They're like,
Yeah.
please release me from this torture.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like stretching like a slingshot, right?
Yeah.
And if you do that and you stretch it real far and then you just wet noodle,
Yeah.
oh, dude, it's even worse.
Yeah, so it's hard to get into that, and I try to work it out and stuff because I try to bring it to like open mics, but just depending on how the shows I keep calling them shows, just depending on how the open mic is going, will determine on if I do any new stuff or if I try to bring the old stuff back, because I want the people to have a good time. I want them so they'll come back. A lot of people they just go like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do whatever new stuff I have, and then let the audience decide if it's funny or not, whatever. I want the audience to have a good time. If the person before me, if the few people before me are bad, then I need to go like, okay, well, let me just go back into my show stuff.
But don't you also get the same thing if people in front of you are good? You're just like, I gotta at least be good.
Really good, yeah. If they're really good, then I'm gonna like, okay, well, I gotta keep this going. If it's just like mediocre or just like a workshop type of mic where there's nobody there, just comics and stuff, then I'll try like the other stuff, like the new stuff. Did a lot of new stuff last night because I was hosting and I had extended time and stuff. But even at that, I mean, nobody was there, so I don't even know if it was
that's a tough room to test.
good. I'm a hack in the sense where I use Facebook. I use Facebook to see what kind of response it gets with jokes. You know what I mean?
You put your own stuff on Facebook, and if people are jiving with it, then you're just like, that's a good joke.
That's a good joke. Maybe that's just gonna be my thing. Maybe I'm just a short joke teller.
Yeah.
But at that means I gotta do more, which is fucking tough.
That is tough.
But how was your writing? Because you don't really post that much on Facebook, do you? Or you don't use social media for jokes?
Not that much. No, definitely not for jokes. Unless something's like where I'm like, I'll never say that, but I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, I have certain things where I write because we're doing the line a day, right? But that's not my writing style. So that's stuff that I'm like, I could probably post on Facebook, but I also won't do it for like a joke on stage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like my writing style is like Drunken Panda style, because I'll have a conversation with somebody and they're laughing the whole time, and I'm like, I don't even remember what I said.
Yeah.
So usually it's like stems from conversation where if I say something that's funny and people are jiving with it, I'll take that as the premise and then I'll try and like reverse workshop it.
Yeah.
Where I can be like both people in a conversation.
Another reason why I like to post it on Facebook is like a time step type of thing. You know how I've been accused of joke stealing, being a joke thief.
Oh, yeah.
I only been proven once, and that's fine. It happens subconsciously.
Yeah.
And I got rid of it. I don't say it anymore. Well, okay, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I use it in bar shows. If the crowd's not feeling it, I'll use it every now and then and stuff. But
Is that the one that was close to Louis C.K.?
yeah,
Yeah, I remember. You told me, you're like, someone told me this. But you came up with it as like something that you've never seen before, so.
yeah, it was new to me, and I did it on that Kill Tony interview when they were interviewing me about marriage and stuff. So that's when I just threw it out, and the crowd laughed at it. I was like, oh, I guess that's a good joke, So I kept using it, and I was using it for months. For months I was using it, and I always got the same response. I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. And then AJ Garces, he's like, hey, that's a Louis C.K. joke, and he said that's from this special, all that stuff. And he was right. It was exactly, and it wasn't even a joke. It's just like a tag type of thing. But even at the same time, like I was saying the exact same thing. We changed the number of years, but I was saying the exact same thing. And so I was like, "Fuck, man!" I was upset. But if you're gonna tell me that I'm stealing a joke, prove it to me.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what AJ did. He's like, "It's from this special. It's kind of in the middle. Whatever the fuck." And he was right. So that's another reason.
He beat you to it.
Yeah. And he did it better than I did.
Well, of course, yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I shouldn't do it, but I'll admit to it. Like I'll throw it out in a bar setting.
You're not the only one that has a joke that's like, you shouldn't do that. That's pretty close, and then still does it though.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple.
So that's another reason why I post stuff on social media, just so it could be time stamped. Like, oh, well, I said it on this date, then whatever, But more than it's for that dopamine trip too. Like if people are digging it, if I get more than thumbs up, I was like, okay, well then that's maybe something I can put on stage.
Oh my god, dude! I give that stuff out like candy. Like I won't even leave it. I won't even read it, and I'll put a ha. I'm like, oh, dude, Patty Huerta put it, and then just drop a ha.
Yeah, I like to give out.
I like to
hearts.
pad your stats.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
You're helping me out.
Yeah, you know what it is.
But yeah, I throw out a lot of hearts. I give a lot of love out, But yeah, man, I'm and that word a day thing. Ah, man, I'm not keeping up with it like I should.
How far back are you? Are you just like do one and skip a couple days and then do another?
Well, I'll go back like on a Saturday or Sunday, and I'll go through my feed, my Facebook or my Twitter. I try to fuck with Twitter too, because a lot of people don't. And I'll just like, if it was funny, I was like, okay, I wrote that on that day, then I'll put that in the book. And I gotta go back and
Doesn't count.
It totally counts. No. It's a day. I wrote it on that day.
Oh, dude, that's so funny. No, I'm bad because I'll try and go back and like trying to back think jokes where I'm just like, it's like impossible.
Yeah.
Also, it encourages me to write shitty because I'm just trying to filler. I'm not filling it today, but let me just think of some lame ass joke.
Yeah, man, I'm more spontaneous. Like I can't sit down. I can't like say, okay, 6 o'clock. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna write. Never happens like that. It has to be like spontaneous. Like if I just finish a conversation or if I'm on hold at work, on the phone. At work, I was like, "Oh shit, that's funny," and I'll just jot that on my phone and stuff. Are you organized? Like, do you have like folders of all your jokes?
No, I have stuff on my work computer, which I shouldn't. My bad. And so I have that, and then I have about a million folders. I've never finished a notebook in my life. I get about 10 in, and then I'll get a new notebook.
Dude, I have like 5 notebooks because I think, oh, maybe I like to write on this one. Because the composition books, I don't like the way they fold or the way they open up.
Oh yeah, no, I don't like that either. It's feminine.
The paper is all like has that hump.
Yeah,
I can't write on a fucking hump.
Yeah, I agree.
But I have like 5 notebooks. Like if you looked at my bag, it would go, oh man, this guy writes a lot. They're all empty.
I know.
They're all empty. I have a leather bound one. I have one with the spirals. I have different. I haven't found the right one that I like to write in.
Yeah.
So I just do notes on my phone. You know.
The phone probably has the most notes on it.
Yeah.
And it's usually my set written over and over and over and over and over again. And I'll just write the words for like.
Yeah. You're really good at, like, I've never seen you go on stage with notes.
No. But I mean, it's also kicked me in the ass before, right? Where I'm just like, I'll get into crowd work and then immediately been like, all right, what's next?
Yeah, that whole like, okay, what else? That whole thing.
Yeah.
See, that I don't want to do that. You know, I thought that loses the crowd, but apparently people don't like seeing you going up on stage with notes. They want to see you like in your like, oh, it's natural, it's on the spot, like all this, which makes sense. I get that. The only reason why I use notes is because I have a really bad memory, and it helps me keep on track. It's like a net for a high wire walker. You know, like I could do without it. Like I know I can make this journey from here to there without it. But knowing that the net's there,
Sure.
I don't feel as nervous.
Got you. So you'll go up there and have you ever just blanked and then you're just like looking through like the paper and you're like, oh, she ate my butt.
No,
Not on a punchline.
no. Once I start a joke, that I know how to finish it. There'll be some times where I like, because I'll write bullet points and then I'll write tags. Because maybe this one bit has like 4 tags, but I only did 2 of them. I'll be like, oh fuck, I forgot those other 2. It could have killed.
Yep.
Yeah, but no, I've never lost in the middle of the joke. Like, what was it? Oh yeah, she ate my butt. No,
That's
but I'm
amazing.
trying. I'm trying to get better with that. Like, I know my stuff. I know it. I just want it. I want it to appear seamless, and you can't appear seamless and confident when you're looking at your notes.
That is true. There is something that's like satisfying about like it making it sound like it's the first time it's ever left your brain. Like you're just kind of like riffing off of it, right?
Yeah.
Actually, we were talking about it in our text thread earlier today. As far as like, if you're like kind of deadpanning, fuck that. Like it immediately is just not it.
Yeah.
And we're like one of those people that we're not confident until it's doing good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I'll be confident before where I'm just like, yeah, if the crowd's feeling it, then I'm just like, I know I'm gonna do good. But most of the time, you're walking up cold.
Because you'll see people going on stage and they're feeling themselves. They're feeling themselves so hard, and the crowd isn't, and they're still feeling themselves. I was like, I want that. I want that confidence. This guy or girl, whatever, has no idea that nobody likes him, and they're on stage like, fuck yeah, I'm fucking killing.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like if I could just fool myself or convince myself that I kill every set that I do, I might be a happier person. But I'm too in touch with reality that I can't fool myself. I can't convince myself that everybody loves me when I know that they don't.
There's no way. Well, actually, there is, because I see people post it back on Facebook. Like, you know, this was my set, and they bombed, and you're just like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Dude, that to me, wild to see that.
Yeah. I've posted bits, like little small, like a minute, 30 seconds of a set. I would never post my whole set on social media.
I've never posted anything, never any jokes, and I send it to a couple coworkers that like they really like what I do, you know, and they're always saying like, hey, please send me your new jokes when you're doing them. I want to hear them, but I also can't make it out. There are people in Houston, and I'll send it, and they're like, why don't you post this? Like, this is getting a good reaction. And I was like, dude, I know I'm going to be embarrassed about this. You know, like a year from now, I'm going to be like, that was horrible.
A year from now?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you don't say nothing bad. I mean, not all the time. I wouldn't post nothing that could get you canceled or anything.
No, but like think of your best joke. Don't you hope that you look back on that and been like, God, I sucked? Because that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, because you want to get better and stuff, but at the same time, you kind of want people to know that you're doing good or that you're doing okay.
There you go.
You know, Like, I don't know, man. Like, one of my problems is that a lot of comics don't do this. They don't post shows. They don't post about shows that they're on, unless they're headlining or unless they're getting a good chunk of money for it, like a door deal or something. They won't post their shows. You know, I come from the band mentality where anything that you're on, anything that you're a part of,
You toss that up there.
yeah, you put it out there. You let people know I'm gonna be here doing my thing at this time, whatever. Because you want people to come out to see you, and you want people to come out and enjoy the show, you know. So I overpost, I overshare if I'm gonna be on a show, because I want people out there.
Do you think the band stuff helped? Do you
I
think there's any translation there?
Oh yeah, they're very linear as far as like work ethic, and promotional tools. I use a lot of that stuff, and I think it helps. I think it makes a difference. Making your presence known online, or letting people know that you're out there and stuff. But at the same time, if I'm gonna be on a show, and if I'm expected to promote the show, I'm gonna want information. And apparently, that has given people the idea that I am difficult to work with.
Oh, you are very difficult to work with.
Like, if you want me to be on a show, and all you want me to do is show up, then I don't need to know who else is on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even need to know what time it's at. I don't need to know if you're charging at the door.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to know any of that. If all you expected me to show up and go up and do my 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, then I'll do that. I don't need any information because I'm not going to promote it. But if you want me to promote a show, I need to know what to tell people.
Yeah.
I don't want to just say, like, just show up. It's going to be a good time, or hopefully,
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I get that. And I'm trying to be better with that. I'm trying to not be so in your ass about shit. Like, we have the show tomorrow, and
Yep.
I haven't, like, Adrian told me about it a couple weeks ago, and I haven't said anything. Like, is it still happening? Like, I text him, like, where do I need to go? What time do I need to be there, and all that stuff. Like, that's it.
And you found out today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, man. I don't know. I'm kind of the opposite, where it's like, I just want to know where it's at, how long, and then is it clean, and then is it paid? Like, those are like the four things that I care about.
Yeah, I don't fuck with money right now. Like, a lot of the shows that I'm doing, like going to Abilene and San Angelo, I'm not getting paid for that.
Yeah, it's just mic time.
It's a guest spot.
Yeah.
It's to get introduced to the people that book out there, and that's all I care about, man. Like, that's a really bad thing when people want to charge money, or they're like, I need X amount of dollars to even consider it. Mm-hmm. I'm not at that level at all.
I just want to know, though.
Yeah, I'm always surprised. Like, the only thing I'll charge for, is if I'm hosting. If I'm hosting like an open mic.
Yeah, because you're working.
Because I'm working. I'm running the show, and I'm there all night. I'm there. I'm the first one there. I'm the last one out. So if they want me to do that, I will say like, well, how much, But if it's just a spot, I don't say anything about money. If they ask me like, oh, how much would it be for 15 minutes? I was like, dude, whatever you got available, whatever's in the budget. And if I don't have to travel far, then
yeah,
I just want to be on the show.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I guess I think about that a little bit as far as like, where's comedy taking me?
Yeah.
And it's like, whenever I first started, I had the idea of like, I'm not gonna ever leave my job until comedy matches that. But I make $80K, so I'm gonna be in this a while, dude.
I was gonna bet how long it would take you to drop how much money you make and shit. Cause you like to tell people that all the time.
Dude, I come from that rapper mentality, where it's like Floyd Money Mayweather, where you just got like a stack right there. Dude, now that I'm white,
now that
I'm white, dude, I would totally post like pictures of like money, of like stuff. But yeah, it's been pretty good these days.
So that's where you're at. Like, once comedy pays you what your day job is paying you, that's when you'll take it more serious.
So I was thinking about that the other day where I was like, when would I make the transition to be like, I'm more of a comic than I am, what I do now.
Yeah.
And it pretty much comes down to when I know, like, I can support myself. Okay, I have the material to do that. I have steady income where, like if you're like attached to the improv and like you do shows, you've got stuff going. I want to like have like a YouTube channel where, I'm getting some revenue from ads. But dude, I know that's like unrealistic for like 10 years, for me at least. That's how I think.
Yeah.
In 10 years, I mean, we'll readdress that when I'm like, you know what? I feel pretty good. I feel like I can make the leap. Maybe San Antonio's not it, but I don't know. I like the idea of kind of like I'm just doing comedy. How I'm working, I think it's working for me a little bit.
And you got plenty of time, man. You're fucking young. If you're in this for 10 years, you still won't be older than me. And like, just imagine like how good you're gonna be at that time in 10 years.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I'm hoping that the girlfriend doesn't like kind of sandbag me.
Yeah, man.
It could happen, but at the same time,
you gotta put that up front. You gotta have that understanding. The thing with me and my wife, like I was in bands, so she knew that I had a busy schedule. I was rehearsing, wasn't rehearsing as much as I'm doing open mics, or I had shows. Wasn't doing as many shows as I am doing shows now. So my time is more unavailable. It's more busy with comedy than it ever was with music.
yeah.
So she had the understanding. She just didn't realize how much it was going to be with comedy, And it's
Did she like you more in the band?
Yeah, because I wasn't as away. And then I wouldn't do like shows. Like I'll do like 2 or 3 shows comedy a week. Like shows, not just open mics. Not just rehearsals, but in bands, like I wouldn't do more than 2 shows a month.
Oh, dude!
Just because it was so.
You guys were horrible.
It just took out so much. It took out so much energy, so much time, And then with bands, like you need people to come out and see you, and usually it's the same people coming out to see you. So you don't want to fucking like overburden them with like overexpose them with the same song. All right, come out next week and here's the same 30 minutes set. With comedy, I mean,
we're playing BarbacoaCore again.
With comedy, it's just like it's different people all the time.
Yeah.
You go to them, and sometimes it's 30 people, and sometimes it's 6. And
it's true.
You still gotta give them a good show. But so yeah, man, like it's good that she gets an understanding, she gets an idea and stuff. But when she like moves here full time, like that's gonna be.
Well, that's the thing is I always say we'll cross that bridge when we're there. But it was like for now, it was like this is me. And what's good is she's seen me do good, right? I felt horrible the first 3 times she came out. Bombed, and she was like, I know you're funny. Like I'm around you all day, every day, but she was like, what do you think on stage? I'm like, you're catching me on, like, you're actually the unlucky rabbit's foot right now. This is your fault. And then she caught me for the last like 4 shows she's caught have been really good.
Yeah.
And now it's almost like Paramount. Like she called me on Squeezebox. Like I was bombing and I took a call. And she was like, "Are we doing good?" It was real sweet, and I was like, "No, we're doing horrible." She was like all encouragement on this side. Like I'm on the phone too, like in the mic. She was like, you're one of the best I've ever seen, type thing. I'm like, you don't watch comedy.
She's just trying to be supportive, man. She loves you.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, she thinks that. Because she's not in the world of comedy, so it's like she sees the work I put in. She's like, "There's no way it's not going to pay off." And you're funny, and I've been like, I see a lot of people that are funny putting in the work that, But also, I'm having fun doing it.
As long as you're having fun, I mean that's the important part. You gotta have fun with it. I mean, be goal oriented, but orientated.
Yeah,
I don't know.
My goal is to go to Houston and Austin this year.
Yeah, for
start
sure.
breaking
man.
into those
For
scenes.
sure. Man, everybody talks about the secret group in Houston. Like,
I think they love me in Houston. I mean, I'm from Corpus, which is basically Houston. If you replace black people and Asian people with old people, Corpus and Houston, same place.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we should make that happen. We should take a road trip, head up the secret group. But yeah, man, we're gonna make some contacts out there. But
We'll just work through Zach. We'll do the problematic, and then be like, hey, by the way, hook me up with all the folks you've done.
yeah, everybody send
Yeah.
them my way and stuff. That fucking podcast is funny, man. The problematic.
Have you listened to it?
Yeah, dude, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, when he posted, he was like other podcast intros. I wanted to just at you and just been like, oh, dude, because how long do you think this intro is gonna be?
No, I don't do intros no more. Y'all really fucked me
dude.
about intros. I don't
All
do
right.
intros no more.
Dude, I'm actually proud about this one because we ruthlessly bullied you.
Still to this day, I was like, I don't even do it anymore.
You're just like, this is a 15-minute intro into
Yeah.
BarbacoaCore.
Yeah.
What's the longest intro do you think you actually did?
It was 15 minutes, but I mean, like,
Yep.
well, because before I would do all my plugs and anything that was going on with me, and then when the show started, I would just focus on the guest. So you kind of see that we kind of went back and forth. We talked about you, we talked about me, we talked about you, we talked about me. So this whole thing is an intro to me, you know, like as far as like talking about my stuff.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to before, I would get all my bullshit out of the way and then just 100% focus on the guest.
So now we had like a 50-minute intro. Do you want to like actually start the pod?
Shit. Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks for not saying the N-word.
You got it, man. I'm proud of that one.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you too. I know
Thanks.
how you like to throw it out there.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So social medias, how can people find you? Give that to them again before we wrap it up.
Yeah, to wrap up this intro, Justin Bires, Instagram, Justin Bires, Facebook. If you like this, eventually we'll have Pat on the Please Ignore What I Just Said podcast. Me, Joey Smith has been on here. Brendan Potter has been on here. Some of the best guys that we know. And then Jimmy Smith. We all do the Please Ignore What I Just Said. And we're going to get better at it. Right now, we're 4 people. That's one thing that I will say doing a solo podcast is it's all runs through one person.
Yeah.
4 people, you have to say, what do you like? What do you do?
Yeah.
There's a lot of kind of like, it's almost like a horse by committee, you know, it turns out into a camel.
Yeah.
It kind of does that where I'm just like, dude, I don't care. Just throw it all out there. And people are like, I also want to book shows. And in case, you know, blank is doing it, then.
Yeah. No, it's rougher than like schedule conflicts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But cool. Thanks for coming out, man. Again, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe on wherever you listen to this podcast. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, Castbox. I fuck with Castbox. It's just user friendly and all that stuff. And then Twitter and Instagram at Patrick C. Huerta. Also at BarbacoaCore. And or you could just go to the website BarbacoaCore.com for all the links and any show dates and stuff like that. Thank you for listening. I'll see y'all next week.
Hell yeah.
Laters.